By 2026, the push notifications you get every single day are going to be, well, almost unrecognizable. They're going to know what you want, when you want it, and maybe even why you want it. So today, we're going to dive into the AI revolution that's turning all that digital noise into a perfectly timed personal assistant right there in your pocket. This quote, it just nails the biggest problem in the mobile world, doesn't it? We've all felt it. That buzz in our pocket promises something important, but instead it delivers an ad for something we bought last week. The goal has always been engagement, but way too often the result is just a huge mountain of digital noise. And that's really the question for any brand out there today, isn't it? Is your message a welcome, helpful signal, or is it just another drop in the ocean of notification fatigue? That point where users get so overwhelmed, they just start to tune everything out. And make no mistake, this isn't just some minor annoyance we're talking about. It's a retention killer. That old strategy of just blasting a single message to everybody, it's not just ineffective anymore, it's actively driving your best customers away. Because you've got to realize, every single one of those generic alerts is a massive missed opportunity. In the hyper-competitive world of 2026, you're not just failing to connect, you're actively losing a real chance to upsell, to be helpful, or to keep a valuable customer from walking right out the digital door. So, what if you could stop guessing and start knowing? Well, that's the whole promise of the AI Push engine. We're talking about a system that doesn't just send out messages, it acts like a predictive assistant, anticipating what your user needs before they even know they need it. This really shows you the fundamental shift. The old way was basically a shot in the dark, blasting out a message and just hoping for the best. The new way? It's surgical. AI triggers messages based on what a user actually does, which makes sure every single notification is relevant. So how does this engine actually do it? Well, it really breaks down into three core pieces. First, you've got predictive timing, sending the message at the absolute perfect moment. Second is behavioral personalization, tailoring the content to that specific user's actions. And third, AI copywriting, which generates the most effective message completely on the fly. Let's look a little closer at that timing piece, because this is where it gets really fascinating. This is not just scheduling for different time zones. We're talking about something called deep reinforcement learning. Essentially, it's an AI that's constantly learning. It sends a notification, watches how you respond, do you tap it now, later, or just swipe it away, and it uses that feedback to get smarter, eventually finding the absolute perfect moment to reach you. But listen, this isn't just some impressive tech. It is a powerful engine for growth. And the proof? Well, the proof is in the numbers. And the return on investment here is pretty staggering. For an e-commerce store, this is a total game changer. One case study found that just by using AI-driven cart abandonment notifications, those perfectly timed little reminders about what you left behind, stores were recovering between $2,000 and $4,000 in lost sales every single week. And here's exactly why that recovery is happening. The click-through rate on these intelligent alerts hit nearly 15%. I mean, that is an incredible level of engagement. It just proves that when the message is right and the timing is perfect, people don't just notice, they actually act. Now, let's think beyond just cart abandonment. When messages are personalized based on a user's browsing history or past purchases, the impact is even more dramatic. We're seeing a sixfold, that's 6x increase in conversions compared to those old generic one-size-fits-all campaigns. And finally, let's circle right back to that perfect timing. Just getting the moment right can lead to up to 80% higher open rates. And this is fundamental. It doesn't matter how amazing your message is if no one ever sees it. AI timing makes sure it lands when the user is most likely to actually pay attention. So all those numbers, they tell a very clear story. By 2026, this kind of technology isn't a nice to have. It's the absolute strategic core of mobile engagement. Let's take a look at how that strategy plays out across a few different industries. This isn't just for retail. In e-commerce, the AI can cross-sell a yoga mat right after you buy leggings. For an EdTech app, it sends that gentle nudge to a student who hasn't finished a lesson. And for media companies, it frees up creators from the boring manual task of telling everyone a new episode is out. It's so versatile and just incredibly powerful. And it is so critical to understand that this isn't happening in a vacuum. Users are already getting used to AI everywhere else, from their cars to their smart homes. This kind of predictive intelligence is completely reshaping their expectations. Smart notifications aren't just a marketing tool anymore. They're becoming the new baseline for how we interact with technology. In fact, by 2026, the entire landscape is going to be dominated by what we call Agentic AI. We're expecting Apple to launch a Siri that can actually control multiple apps at once. Google's Gemini will be able to perform complex tasks right on your screen for you. And AI-powered visual search, yeah, that's just going to be standard. In this new world, your phone's AI is going to understand what's on your screen, it's going to control apps to book you a ride or order groceries, and it'll even identify objects through your camera to give you info in real time. In that context, a generic unintelligent notification is going to feel ancient. And that brings us right to our main takeaway. For years, marketing and engagement has been all about making educated guesses about what customers want. Well, that era is definitively over. We are now firmly in the era of prediction. So the question for 2026 is actually pretty simple. Will you still be guessing what your customers want, or will you be using the tools that can tell you what they already know? The answer to that question will define who wins and who gets left behind.